Hello dear students, today we will talk about the total internal reflection and the critical angle. The total internal reflection and the critical angle. See, here in case of a diamond, if you take the example of a diamond, what happens if this is the structure of a diamond? This is the structure of a diamond. Diamond is modified in such a structure. This structure also modified here. If the light ray enters the diamond, this is the incident ray. When the light ray enters the diamond, making the 0 degree angle with the normal. See, this is the normal also. If it overlaps the normal, then according to the laws of reflection, there will not be any refraction here. So what happens? It penetrates the medium, making no deviation, and after that it travels in this path. It reflects back to the rarer medium again. This is the rarer and this is the denser medium. So it again goes back to the rarer medium, having no reflection. Now what happens here? In this case what happens? यहाँ पर होता क्या है? This is called the total internal reflection. This is called the total internal reflection. So in order to understand this, let us have an experiment. See, this is the rarer medium and this is the denser medium. What happens here? In case of the ray coming from the rarer medium, we have studied already that if it makes any angle with the normal, then while entering the denser medium, it deviates and changes its path. It comes closer to the normal. This is your normal. It comes closer to the normal. And in the previous class, we have also come to know about the principle of reversibility. If a reflecting surface is kept just perpendicular to the refracted ray, then what happens here? It retraces the path. It goes again back to the point of origin. This is the point of origin. So it goes back. It retraces the path. So here we will see about the second case. In the first case, it was coming closer to the normal. But in the second case, this is the second case when the light ray enters from denser medium to the rarer medium. When the light ray enters from the denser medium to the rarer medium, then it goes away from the normal. It goes away from the normal. What happens here? When the incident ray was here, then the angle of refraction was here. When the incident ray was here, the angle of refraction came here. When the incident ray comes here, the angle of refraction comes here. Okay? So as much we are increasing the angle of incidence, the rate of increment in the angle of refraction is more. थोड़ा सा इस एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस को थोड़ा सा हम बढ़ाएंगे, ये एंगल ऑफ रिफ्रैक्शन बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ेगा. सो इन दिस सिचुएशन व्हाट हैपेंस? अ सिचुएशन कम्स व्हेन द एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस इज इन सच अ वे दैट इज रेयर मीडियम में एंटर करता ही नहीं. इट डज नॉट एंटर द रेयर मीडियम एंड इंस्टेड ऑफ एंटरिंग द रेयर मीडियम, इट ट्रैवल्स इन दिस डायरेक्शन, overlapping the interface of the two media. This is the interface of the two media. This is the rarer and this is the denser medium, and this is the interface of the two media. So a time comes when the incident ray is that much. ये rarer medium में reflect करता ही नहीं. It does not enter the rarer medium and it goes parallel, overlapping the interface of the two media. This is called the critical angle. This is your IC. This is your angle. These are the angle of incidence. These are the angle of refractions. These are the angle of refractions, and this is your critical angle. इसी को कहते हैं critical angle. This is the critical angle. When, now please listen carefully. When the light ray of incidence, यदि incidence ray critical angle से ज्यादा होगा, if the angle of incidence is more than the critical angle, this is your angle I, this is the angle of incidence, this is critical angle. When the angle of incidence is more than the critical angle, in this situation, it will see, this is the IC, this is your angle of incidence which is greater than the critical angle, this is your critical angle, this is the critical angle. When it exceeds, when the angle of incidence exceeds the critical angle, then it totally reflects in the same medium. ये इसी मीडियम में totally reflect होता है. Now this will no more be the interface of the two media. It will become the reflecting surface. ये एक reflecting surface के जैसा ये काम करेगा और ये interface के जैसा काम नहीं करेगा. ये this will act as the reflecting surface for the incident ray here, following the laws of reflection. Angle this will be angle equal to angle this. Following the laws of reflection, it will completely bounce back in the same medium. This is called the total internal reflection. इसी को कहते हैं. This is called the total internal reflection, and this is your critical angle. This is the critical angle. Okay, so this was the thing. In case of the formation of mirage के केस में भी यही होता है. किसी this is suppose this is the desert in which suppose a tree is standing here, the observer is here. What happens? This column is here, the atmosphere is divided in some layers. This is the rarer, this is denser. As it goes up, the medium, that means the atmosphere, becomes little denser. ये close to the earth के surface जो close है वो rarer होगा because of the increment in the temperature. यहाँ पर temperature ज़्यादा होता है as compared to here. So this will act. See, so this is for this interface. इस interface के लिए when the light ray enters, when the light ray is coming here on top of this tree, then the observer is here. It is supposed to go in the eyes of observer. And what happens? If it incidents here, यहाँ पर ये incident करता है, then for this interface, इस layer, इन दोनों layer का जो interface है, this is the interface of these two layers, in which this is the denser and this is the rarer. So in this situation, following the laws of refraction, it will go little away from the normal. ये normal से थोड़ा दूर जाएगा. When it comes here, so for these two mediums, this is the interface, and for this interface, this is the rarer medium and this becomes denser medium. So it will again goes away from the normal. For this interface, this will be the denser medium and this will be the rarer medium. So it will again from the normal. ये normal से धीरे धीरे हटता चला जाएगा and it completely, see, so this is not coming straight. The path bends like this. It was supposed to go in a straight line, but it bends like this. Okay, and what happens here? यहाँ से ये completely reflect कर देता है. So this is what is happening here. Is the total internal reflection which exceeds the critical angle. ये critical angle को exceed कर जाता है. So this is here what happens here. This is the critical angle and the image of this point is seen here. यहाँ कहीं पर हमको ये image मिलता है. This object का image, the image of this will be observed here. Okay. So what happens here is the total internal reflection.